This is the time and place for the second public hearing in the matter of the redistricting plan for the City of Sioux Falls in 2017. We will call the meeting to order, please. We have with us Jeff Schmidt. Jeff, if you want to just touch on the sections of the city charter which are involved here that require the city to district on a regular basis, and also then talk about the recommended plan, and at your leisure the summary of just plans B and E. Those plans are not the recommended plan, but they are similar. They are still in play. But if you want to talk a little bit about just why we do the districting, and then about the recommended plan F, we'll go forward with that.
Thank you, Commission members. Jeffrey Schmidt from the City of Sioux Falls in the Planning Office. The charter has criteria for redistricting, and so we've continued to look at this and present it to the public. The Charter Commission has looked at these 5 items. The most important to be, are we doing equal representation within the 5 districts? Currently, as it sits right now with the 178,000 people in the city, we don't have equal representation. So we want to make sure that we adjust that and make sure that we have as close to equal as we can. The districts have to have contiguous territory. We want to make sure that we're not dividing the districts too much when we get to the Minnehaha and Lincoln County division line at 57th Street. And that's also with between 3 and 4. And with number 5, we want to make sure that we're looking at what's the links of the districts if we over-exaggerate one to get them too far. So that's one of the things that we've continued to look at with the redistricting over time, is how do we make the districts an equal representation and appropriate to all the voters that are out there. So when we did that, we came up with 6 or 7 different options that the Commission has reviewed and looked through. We have 2 that we brought forward, and we have a 3rd one that was our recommended option.
Thank you, Jeff. We have for consideration and for the record, all 3 maps are present in the commission room. People have had an opportunity to come and look at the individual maps and so on. I would have to say that given the turnout, or lack thereof, that people of Sioux Falls must not have seen anything that really created a problem for them. So, Jeff, do you have anything further? Do you want to talk anything at all about B and E, or you can talk a little bit about F if you want, or everybody? Or yeah, that's right. Mark was instrumental in putting together option F, and he probably understands it certainly better than the chair. So, Mark, if you want to talk just a little bit about how you did option F, and we will cover that now.
Sure, and I appreciate the options that Jeff gave us, because I think from those options, we're able to take a look at some of those proposed shifts that make the most sense and try to put it together in a way that had the least impact on voters and the shifting of precincts. So we're really in option F, we're looking at the shifting of 6 different precincts. 1-8, which is near 41st and Marion, 3-7 and 3-8, which for the most part, the residents, homeowners are to the east of Kiwanis Avenue. Most of that property is to the west of Kiwanis are the 2 country clubs, the Great Plains Zoo, Sherman Park, a lot of that property there. And then into the northeast district, you have 2-4 and 5-15 shifting there. Also, I missed 1-2, which is again to the east of Kiwanis Avenue. That would shift into the central. 5-15 would shift out of the central, and 2-4 would shift out of the southeast, and trying to rebalance some of those districts. The input that we received during the public meetings that we held previously indicated that a lot of the population shift is going east or southeast in the future, and so you know, we'll continue to see growth in all of the districts, especially on the periphery. So the intent here was to try to make the central a little bit larger than the others to allow for additional growth into the 4 outlying districts. You know, this is a plan that will take us through 1 or 2 election cycles and then come the recensus that takes place every 10 years has a potential to shift some precincts and, in essence, possibly shift this again in another 4 or 5 years. But again, the intent here was to try to stay with a minimal number of changes, and also to recognize some of those natural boundaries, such as the Big Sioux River and some of the main arterial streets like 12th Street or Kiwanis Avenue, 41st, Marion, as opposed to splitting neighborhoods under the way that the precincts are drawn currently. If you look at like 37, 38, those splits on the eastern right-hand side are residential streets. So somebody on one side of the street might be represented by one council member, and somebody right across the street is represented by someone else. And so hopefully this creates a little bit more of a natural flow with those neighborhoods and starts to anticipate where that future growth might be down the line.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. So far, I think option F has not met with any opposition, so we I think are predisposed to go before that. Do you want to just touch on B and E, Jeff, for just a second? I think we've covered it in a previous hearing for the most part, but if you want to just tell people just quickly what was considered there, so they do know, in case they're listening in this morning, didn't hear us on Thursday night.
Yes, and again, to continue this theme, we've made sure that we are meeting the criteria, and one of the things that we continue to point out here on the top is making sure that we get the appropriate dispersion of population in the 5 districts. To highlight one of the things is currently, if we don't change these, we have 37 and 38,000 people in the northwest, the southeast, and the southwest. But in the northeast district, we have 30,000 people. So that's one of the issues that we've been trying to address. So with this first option that we came up with, option B, again, as we've already started to talk about, we were moving some of the outlying districts into the central and into the northeast to alleviate some of that disparity and address the future growth area at the same time. So we came up with the first option that gave us some options that met the criteria, and then in option E, we were getting really close to having a good solution where we moved 3-8 in the northwest to the southeast. We moved 1-4 in the southwest to the central. We moved 5-6 and 2-4 to the northeast. And then in the end, we found that it would work best to propose option F. But again, the citizenry has at least 3 really good options that they could consider and give public comments on.
Thank you, Jeff. At this time, we have opportunity, or we'll present opportunity for the public to comment. Is there anyone from the public who would like to comment? Seeing no one, we will close the hearing to public discussion. Is there any discussion from the members of the commission at this time? Have any new input? I think we've been over this quite a few times and covered everything that we need to cover. So
I guess, I guess for the process going forward, just to maybe explain it if there's anyone.
Yep. So on Thursday we'll meet again at 3 p.m. here. That's the 22nd of June. Monday afternoon I'll publish that agenda, but I'll also include it in the agenda will be a draft report, which I'll send to you individually as well, but it will be posted along with the meeting as an agenda item. And I think that would be the focus of the next meeting, is to go through that report, give you an opportunity over the next couple days between Monday and Thursday to look at it, do any markups that you want, and hopefully by the end of Thursday's meeting we'll have basically a final draft, and then I'll work with Jeff to make sure that we have it tightened up and ready for signature. So after that, once we have the final version, it'll be available, and I'll work on getting your all signatures. And the step after that would be a presentation to submitting the plan, the report to the City Council, shooting for July 18th for that.
okay. All right. Things are moving forward quickly. I think 22nd is good for everybody, as far, and you said 3 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so, all right, and then July, what was the, for the city council, July 8th?
July 18th,
July
that would be the
18th.
third meeting of the month.
Okay, all right, very good. So that is the schedule going forward. Anything further for the commission to discuss or for the clerk to present to us? Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
Jason moves to adjourn.
Second.
Mark seconds. All in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? No? We are adjourned.